We are near the town of Pentland, 100 kilometres southwest of Charters Towers. The Martels have a strong connection to Pentland, dating from 1870, when Thomas Stephen Martel was regularly passing through the town on his carrying business. Thomas Stephen's grandson, Eric, was born in 1906. He lived with his mother, Edith, on the Cape River gold diggings about 10 kilometres north of the town, while his father continued to work at Christmas Hill Station, much further to the northwest, towards Inersley. When Christmas Hill was sold in 1908, Martel purchased Bettsvale Station, where we are now. All 8 children of Thomas Ernest Martel and his wife Edith would eventually attend Pentland State School. Eric was sent to Townsville Grammar for secondary schooling, but in 1920, at just 14, he left school to come home and support his family. His father, having suffered a bad fall from a horse, was no longer able to work cattle, so instead he opened a butcher shop in Pentland, supplying and slaughtering Bettsvale cattle. As a boy, Eric ran Bettsvale with his 2 younger brothers, but Eric also worked with his father in the butcher shop, eventually having to manage it on his own. He gave it away as a bad joke after a couple of years, preferring paid stock work and the romance of droving. Eric's father retired to the veranda at Bettsvale, evicted from the bedroom after fathering 8 children. Wife Edith, according to granddaughter Lynette, could be bad-tempered. Clearly she was an intelligent woman, but she had married at just 18 to a dashing horseman who was now an illiterate invalid. This probably explains why all the windows in her room were covered with brown paper, for she apparently smashed them regularly, throwing teacups in anger, and there was little point in repairing them, for, likely as not, they would soon be broken again. Lynette told me that out on the veranda, her grandfather's life largely consisted of waylaying grandchildren to tell them of wonderful days spent on the Gilbert River, all the time amusing himself with larks, like stringing firecrackers through the nearby trees so as to blow up the apostle birds that so scolded him. The boys, Eric and Phil, and to an extent young John, worked hard to make Bettsvale a going concern, capable of supporting the family of 10. There was also, in addition, Philip Ching Mitchellmore and his wife Ellen, that's Granny Mitchellmore to Lynette, as well as Thelma, Lynette and Ralph. Eric was an avid tennis and cricket player, and he encouraged the formation of a Pentland cricket team which went on to play against local areas such as Hewenden, Torrens Creek and Prairie. He purchased the first automobile in Pentland in 1927, and he drove the cricket team around everywhere. The Northern Miner, however, reported that he lost control of the vehicle on his way to Bettsvale and smashed it into a tree, badly damaging it. During the 1930s, Eric cut timber and hunted possums for their skins. He managed to build a timber cutting business, hiring men to cut while he carted on a truck he purchased. He also supplied sleepers for the railway line through to Mount Isa, perhaps the same sleepers that Lynette and I clacked across as we made slow progress from the Isa to the Towers some 35 years later in 1971. In 1943, the Australian Army started to build a new meatworks at Pentland to supply soldiers with beef. Corporal Eric Martel was actually about to embark on a troop ship bound for New Guinea when a redirection instead sent him to run the new abattoir, which was logical given his grazing and butchering experience. Eric and Thelma had already married in December 1942, but Thelma had remained in Brisbane with her family. They were united soon after Lynette's birth in 1944, upon which Eric was demobbed. The next 4 years were spent with Eric's family at Bettsvale until the purchase of Strathlevin in 1948.